For centuries, the galaxy had moved in rhythm. Empires rose, fleets clashed, and alliances fractured under the endless pursuit of dominance. Yet no one expected the rhythm to stop. No one imagined that one arrival, one ship, would silence an entire war. The war had begun between the Valorian Dominion and the Ardent Combine. Both were colossal empires that spanned thousands of systems, their fleets numbering in the millions. The battle for the Helion Corridor was to decide the control of a vital trade route. Dozens of species had gathered to observe from a distance, streaming data, analyzing, waiting for who would claim supremacy. The galaxy was watching, but in the midst of that spectacle, something changed. A new contact appeared on every sensor. The ship came from a sector long ignored by the galactic powers, Sector Sol, a forgotten corner of the galaxy, catalogued as primitive, low development, and of no strategic value. The ship was massive, unlike anything the warring fleets had seen before. It did not announce its presence. It did not carry an identification code. It simply appeared at the edge of the war zone, silent, motionless, and yet radiating a gravity of power that no one could ignore. Commanders on both sides halted their attacks. Missiles drifted through void. Engines cooled. The massive ship seemed to absorb attention itself. Its hull reflected no color, its surface a matte darkness that swallowed the light around it. The Valorian admiral tried to scan it. Every attempt failed. The readings returned nonsense. Energy signatures beyond measure, heat levels unreadable, and a hull composition that confused even the most advanced spectrometers. Then a voice cut through every frequency, calm, composed, and human. This conflict has violated 3 interstellar peace accords and has endangered civilian systems. Disengage immediately. The transmission was short, but it carried a weight that made even the ardent command crews hesitate. The voice came from the mysterious ship. No one in the galaxy had heard a human voice before. The name humanity existed only in, forgotten archives, an extinct or insignificant species from a backwater planet named Earth. Yet that voice carried authority as if it were the will of the cosmos itself. The Valorian admiral, proud and unyielding, responded with scorn. This is Valorian space. Identify yourself or be destroyed. For a moment, silence answered. Then the stars themselves seemed to flicker. The black warship moved, and in that motion the entire battlefield trembled. No propulsion plume, no visible thrust. It simply shifted, faster than any known drive could allow, appearing among the fleets in a blink. The closest ships tried to retreat, but space itself warped around them. Their engines failed. Their weapons shut down. Energy readings spiked across the spectrum, and then nothing. Not an explosion, not even debris. The Valorian flagship vanished from every sensor. One moment it existed, the next it did not. The galaxy watched in stunned silence as a vessel the size of a small moon disappeared without trace. The human ship turned slightly. Every active weapon system in the war zone went offline simultaneously. AI control nodes froze. Fire control systems crashed. It was as if the ship spoke in a language of electromagnetic command that no one else understood. Inside the ardent fleet, panic spread. Their commander ordered retreat, but his fleet refused to move, paralyzed by awe and fear. Reports came in from all over the system. Communications blackouts, navigational anomalies, sensors blinded by interference. The war zone was no longer theirs. It belonged to the intruder. The human voice spoke again, unwavering. This sector is under quarantine. Cease hostilities and withdraw. That was not a request. It was a declaration. At the Galactic Council's monitoring station, millions of light years away, leaders of countless species gathered to witness what was unfolding in real time. Some whispered the old legends of the vanished Terrans who had once reached beyond the stars, who had retreated from galactic affairs millennia ago after a mysterious event. Some dismissed them as myths. Others began to wonder if those myths had just returned. Sensors at the Council's relay stations recorded something extraordinary. The human ship's energy output was not based on fusion, antimatter, or quantum collapse, known sources of power. It operated on an unknown principle, bending gravitational fields, manipulating space-time with precision beyond imagination. The Valorians, desperate to save their pride, launched a counterattack. 1,000 warships opened fire simultaneously. Missiles, lasers, and ion lances filled the void. The human ship did not move. Every projectile and beam simply dissolved as they neared it, their energy scattering like dust in sunlight. Then the human ship responded, not with a weapon, but with light. A single pulse spread across the battlefield. When the glow faded, all combat vessels from both empires had been disabled, their systems offline, their power cores neutralized. None had been destroyed, but all were silenced. For the first time in galactic history, two warring empires stood helpless before a single ship. On the Council's broadcast, one of the older ambassadors, an Aurelian philosopher, whispered a phrase that would soon circle the galaxy. The galaxy paused, and it did. Every fleet, every command post, every empire halted operations that day. The sheer scale of human capability defied understanding. The war zone that had once blazed with destruction now drifted in silence, illuminated only by the presence of that black vessel. The ship transmitted one final message before leaving. You have forgotten peace. Remember it. Humanity will not warn again. Then it was gone. No jump signature, no warp trace, no hyperstream disturbance. It simply disappeared. In the weeks that followed, the Valorian Dominion and Ardent Combine declared an armistice. The Helion corridor became neutral ground, overseen by both empires. Neither side dared test the unseen watchers. Across the galaxy, rumors spread. Merchants swore they had seen flashes of black hulls near borders. Outposts reported unknown signals matching human transmissions. Some said entire fleets had been quietly dismantled after crossing forbidden lines. No proof existed, but everyone feared the same thing, that the humans had returned not as conquerors but as enforcers of order. Historians dug through archives, uncovering fragments of old records. They found traces of ancient human technology, relics that hinted humanity had once possessed power even greater than what was seen. One record stood out. It described a council of human leaders from ages past, who had vowed to vanish from the galaxy until it reached maturity. They had withdrawn beyond known space, developing in silence, waiting. Now, they were back. Meanwhile, on a distant planet in the Sol system, deep within the quiet of a blue world, another fleet was awakening. Thousands of black ships stirred under the oceans, mountains, and orbital docks hidden by advanced cloaking fields. The arrival of the warship at Helion had been only a test, a reminder. Humanity's watchful eyes were open once more. Among those who saw the transmission, fear turned to reflection. If humans had evolved to such levels of power, why had they stayed silent for so long? Theories emerged. Some said they had reached a level of technological mastery that transcended war. Others believed they had chosen peace deliberately, intervening only when the galaxy crossed the line of extinction. Whatever the truth, the message was clear. Humanity did not seek conquest. They sought balance. Months later, the Council held an emergency session. The hall was filled with tension. A holographic recording of the human ship hovered above the chamber, a shadowy monolith of power. The Council debated what to do. Some argued to send envoys to Earth, to negotiate peace or alliance. Others insisted humanity should be left alone. In the end, they chose silence because deep down every species understood one thing. If a single human ship could disable two galactic fleets without bloodshed, then what would happen if the entire human armada moved? Across the outer sectors, small colonies began receiving coded transmissions, unmarked, impossible to trace. Each message carried the same line: "Do not make humanity remind you twice." It became the most quoted phrase in galactic culture. Children learned it in schools. Commanders carved it into their ships. Diplomats whispered it before peace negotiations. It became law, myth, and warning all at once. And through it all, no one saw another human ship. Yet the galaxy remained quiet, unified by a fear that was not born from hatred but from awe. For the first time in thousands of years, peace endured. On the far edge of known space, near a silent star, the human warship drifted unseen. Inside, its crew watched the galaxy through quantum lenses, observing every movement, every fleet, every whisper of ambition. The commander stood at the observation deck, hands clasped behind his back, gazing at the stars that once burned with chaos. "They will learn," he said quietly. "In time, they will remember what it means to coexist." Behind him, rows of operators monitored countless signals, ready to intervene if war ignited again. Their mission was not conquest. It was preservation. Humanity had outgrown the galaxy's endless wars, but not its responsibility. When the ship's sensors detected the faint glow of a new conflict rising in the far north spiral, the commander gave a simple order: send a warning. A beam of light shot across space, invisible yet undeniable, carrying a single message that every civilization would soon receive. The galaxy paused once. Do not make it pause again. And in that vast silence that followed, the stars themselves seemed to listen.